is just fantastic. Captain's log. Subdates 220530.5. I have the NPC crew removing the poop from the pod and have been briefed by Crumble and Spoon as to the best path forward. Subfleet say go around those two flabby fecks. We've all decided, nah fam, they hit us first in it. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the final week of the Johnny Depp vs Amber Heard defamation trial. This has been going on for a while now. This video itself would be, I believe, the 9th video in this mini-series, with the 10th being planned for some point this week because this week we will get a verdict. And yes, there will of course be a video on it. So first on the agenda, Dr. Spiegel, a psychologist that testified against Johnny Depp, said that Johnny Depp has behaviors that are consistent with someone that both has substance use disorders as well as behaviors of someone who is a perpetrator of intimate partner violence. There was some contention as to the credentials of Dr. Spiegel, and it was debunked by this person.
I wasn't planning on talking about any of this today, but this guy, Dr. David Spiegel, in the Heard Depp trial today, doing his best Christopher Lloyd impression. No comment about any of his content or anything like that, but I noticed something flying around the internet very quickly. And that is giving him a very long and illustrious career at Stanford with training at Harvard, this and that. That's the wrong guy. Same name, but this is the guy at Stanford that has that long 40-year career, and definitely not the same person. The one we saw today was from Eastern Virginia Medical School. He's a local there. And as you can see from the picture, he's never been good at brushing the hair down on top.
And just because I'm a dick, I'm also going to insert this absolute nugget of a moment when he was on the stand.
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
You have to answer questions, yes sir.
An orthopedic surgeon by the name of Dr. Moore then disputed how Johnny's account of how his finger was severed took place, believing that what Johnny said was not truthful, by further stating that the physicians that examined Johnny Depp's hand did not note that there were any shards of glass in his hand. Now what led to that moment was David Spiegel was asked if he had watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the remake in 2005 that Johnny Depp had starred in. This then led to the judge calming David Spiegel down, which then led to Johnny Depp's team pointing out that Dr. David Spiegel did not comply with the ethical requirements of the APA when he rendered his evaluation of Johnny Depp, breaking the Goldwater Rule, which is a statement of ethics first issued by the American Psychiatrist Association in 1973, which restrained psychiatrists from speculating about the mental state of public figures. The level of professionalism we're dealing with, people. While Dr. David Spiegel was on the stand though, he was getting review bombed, which, while amusing, is a tad, well, sad really, isn't it? Ever since this trial began, there were a whole slew of hashtags associated with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that have been trending. The more notable, Justice for Johnny Depp, Depp Heard defamation, Amber Turd, Amber Heard is a psychopath, Amber Heard deserves prison, Aquaman, Disney, Pirates of the Caribbean, I Believe Johnny Depp being the more recent addition to this. The court of public opinion is well and truly on his side, except for Deaf Noodles, because he's a moron and everything's just a joke, bro. On Tuesday the 24th of May, a new witness was brought in to testify for the Johnny Depp team. The witness is called Morgan Knight. They used to own a trailer park and described a night of an argument between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in 2013. The new witness testified on Tuesday about what he witnessed the night of the couple's argument, saying that he did not see Johnny Depp yelling at Amber Heard, but he said he had witnessed Amber Heard yelling and that Johnny Depp himself appeared to be cowering during the argument. That particular trailer park they had rented out for a party of 10 to 12 people, being quoted as saying, he, honestly, throughout the rest of the night became a lot more quiet. At the beginning of the night he was a lot more outdoing and extroverted, and as the course of the night went on it was less and less so and more quiet. She started yelling at him, and I didn't want to hear it. Honestly, it was really triggering. Morgan Knight did admit that Johnny Depp seemed intoxicated, and was swaying and appeared less sharp than earlier in the night. The next morning, Morgan Knight checked on reported damage in the trailer, saying, "I observed there was a light sconce in the bathroom, in the bedroom, and had been broken off the wall, and a couple of pieces were on the floor. There appeared to be no damage other than the light fixture, which was covered by a piggy feed." Amber Heard's team responded to this when questioning his alleged Johnny Depp fandom. They then brought up tweets he had sent out responding to Twitter user The Umbrella Guy, stating that he was with Depp and Heard all night, and that Amber Heard was acting jealous and crazy. Amber Heard's side of the story for this was that she and Johnny Depp were on vacation at that trailer park near Joshua Tree, where he had performed cavity searches on her, looked for cocaine, and accused her of flirting with other women. For some odd reason, I didn't include this during David Spiegel's part, so I'm going to include it now. When taking the stand, Dr. David Spiegel noted that Johnny Depp would take the following drugs: cocaine, MDMA, marijuana, LSD, opiates, alcohol, and because this is super specific, others. Also confirming that when he had asked Johnny to remember 3 words and say them 5 minutes later, he was unable to recall any of them, and that is very unusual for a 50-ish-year-old male. Adding, generally speaking, that age group should be remembering 2 or all 3 of those words. I do know his lines were also fed to him by earpiece. Now, I earlier mentioned hashtags that were trending, and Aquaman was one of them, and the reason why it trended more recently was because Amber Heard allegedly has a smaller role than she did in the first Aquaman movie, which led many to believe that perhaps their voices were being heard. It has since been alleged that that is not the case, and in fact the reason for her reduced presence in Aquaman 2 was entirely because, and by all means roll your eyes at this, the complete and utter lack of chemistry between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa. They're actors. They can fake chemistry. Don't try me with that. I know it can of course be seen by some. Thank you. We all know who you are. But to the casual viewer, so the vast majority, they're not going to notice it. I firmly believe it's because this has shone a rather nasty light on Warner Brothers, and they would want to be seen distancing themselves from this as much as they can. So next on the list we get to Kate Moss. People were looking forward to this one because Amber Heard had said some things claiming that Kate Moss was the victim of some rather heinous crimes at the hands of Johnny Depp. Well, Kate Moss, she said, I'll just let her say it for herself.
Would you please state your full name for the record?
Kate Moss.
Miss Moss, do you know Johnny Depp?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Depp?
I had a relationship with him.
For how long, Miss Moss, were you and Mr. Depp a romantic couple?
From 1993 to 1994 to 1998.
Miss Moss, did there come a time when you, while you and Mr. Depp were a couple, that the two of you took a vacation together to the Golden Eye Resort in Jamaica?
Yes.
What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs, and I hurt my back, and I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain, and he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Now that's quite interesting really, because Amber Heard had used Kate Moss in her own testimony to explain how she had defended her sister from the onslaught of Johnny Depp. This is what Amber Heard said.
I just remember this brief struggle we had before kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny.
I'm really hoping you noticed right at the end then, when he was smiling, his legal team were getting very excited because they had you. They had you, Amber Heard. They had you. So after this, Johnny Depp returned to the stand for a number of reasons. One was to give his tale of events concerning Kate Moss slipping down the stairs in Jamaica, and how Amber Heard had given him a shiner on the Orient Express, along with explaining how he had managed to secure her a role in Aquaman. For the role of Mera, Johnny had simply made a phone call and spoke to 3 upper echelon Warner Brother executives. He then went on to reel off their names, adding, ultimately she did get the job in the film, so hopefully I suppose I curbed their worries to some degree. When he was asked about whether or not he had tried to oust her from her role with Warner Brothers executives, he did concede that he did reach out to them because he had vetted her, no doubt taking some responsibility, but denied the claims that he had tried to remove her from her role, only that they should look a little harder at who they employ. Shortly after that, a metadata expert, Norbert Brian Neumeister, took to the stand. Neumeister was on the stand to testify about the metadata of the photographs in the case and whether or not they were altered in any way. Neumeister said he'd analysed several iterations of photos that were presented and was quoted as saying, "These photos will not digitally fingerprint with each other. There's no way to authenticate any photo in the way that the evidence was presented. All 3 of these photos had to go through some type of transformation to change sizes." During this day as well, former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine took to the stand as a rebuttal witness for Depp's team. Tremaine at the time in 2016 was a field assignment manager and said that the video of Johnny Depp slamming kitchen cabinets was received by TMZ through a tip line. He said there was an extensive process to verify sources. The video sent via Dropbox was verified and posted to TMZ. The video, though sent to TMZ, was shorter than the one shown during the trial, and Tremaine reached out to Johnny Depp's team a few days ago and said he wanted to help with the timeline. TMZ had actually filed an emergency motion in an attempt to stop Tremaine from testifying in the trial, but understandably the judge rightfully denied it. Morgan Tremaine was then questioned by Amber Heard's attorney Elaine Bredhoft. The lawyer then implied that he was only testifying during this defamation trial so he could get attention, to which Morgan Tremaine shut down these rumours, explaining that he was actually making himself a target by taking the stand, and stating, "I gain nothing from this." As far as the court of public opinion go, he has been dubbed a king and the MVP, after he had told the lawyer that he could say the same thing about her taking Amber Heard as a client. Well then, you are a bit of a goat. On Friday, the final day of the trial itself, the closing statements arguments were given, and the only one worth playing for this video is Camille's, because I can summarize Amber's with the thought-terminating cliche of, if Johnny wins, you're just standing up for domestic abusers and not the real victims, which I know can be flipped and be used against Amber if she wins, but the evidence has been pretty conclusive, so this could get interesting.
On May 27th, 2016, Ms. Heard walked into a courthouse in Los Angeles, California to get a no-notice ex-parte restraining order against Mr. Depp, and in doing so, ruined his life by falsely telling the world that she was a survivor of domestic abuse at the hands of Mr. Depp. Today, on May 27th, 2022, exactly 6 years later, we ask you to give Mr. Depp his life back by telling the world that Mr. Depp is not the abuser Ms. Heard said he is, and hold Ms. Heard accountable for her lies. The evidence presented at this trial has shown that Ms. Heard is in fact the abuser, and Mr. Depp the abused. At the start of this case, Mr. Chu and I told you that you were going to hear some disturbing and graphic tales of abuse from Ms. Heard, and they were designed to shock you and overwhelm you. We told you that this would be a performance, the role of her lifetime, as a heroic survivor of brutal abuse. When Mr. Depp brought this case for defamation, Ms. Heard went all in. She spun a story of shocking, overwhelming, brutal abuse, came into this courtroom prepared to give the performance of her life.
Shortly after, the jury was sent away to deliberate, and we now as an audience wait and find out. I firmly believe Johnny Depp is innocent. I do not believe anything that has come from Amber Heard's team, because with all the evidence provided, it has been debunked. All of it has. It really has. And when there are bones of contention, they only exist with anecdotal evidence and nothing concrete to back it up, nothing physical to back it up. Because when some of it has been physically presented, It has been shredded by everyone watching. Now, from what I have learnt, it is possible Johnny Depp will not be there when the verdict is given, nor will Amber Heard. I do believe they should be there. I firmly believe they should be in court for this. But we will wait for the result, and once it is given, I will of course provide additional context and information concerning Fallout for you.